How you guys doing? I'm Kyle from Level Pranks, and today I'm gonna tell you a little story. But I'm gonna get some help from some strangers. Once upon a time, a man named
George Bush
had a
cheesesteak,
and he
fell down a well.
And ran into Alice. And the cat.
and then they
saw each other, and George Bush walked up to Alice, and Alice was smoking a Dutch. And George Bush said to Alice, "Alice, what's that?" And Alice said, "Well, George, I'm sitting here and I'm getting stoned." And George said, "Well, can I get stoned with you?" And Alice said, "Well, come on, hit this shit, nigga." So George started hitting the Dutch. And the more and more George started hitting the Dutch, George started realizing that reality wasn't what it was. George started realizing that everything that he was seeing was up. And everything that was up was down. And everything that was down was sideways. 2 + 2 was gravy. And everything turned into fish. So Alice and George got up and they started walking through the time portal. And when they came out of the time portal, they landed at the KFC. George and Alice walked into the KFC and ordered some Nashville hot wings. They started to get their eat on. After they got their eat on, George and Alice started walking around the Wonderland. And they started hearing this funny, strange voice. And this funny, strange voice they started hearing started laughing and saying, "Y'all niggas is fried." And they kept saying, "Who is that? Who is that?" And they was wondering, "Who is that? Who is that?" And then all they saw was some gigantic white teeth and some gigantic green eyes. And these green eyes said, "Y'all niggas is fried. Y'all niggas is fried." And then they looked and said, "What are you? Who are you?" And that voice said, "Y'all niggas is fried. I'm that man that get everybody down when they want to come through and get off in town. I'm that boy that come with them toys and make sure everybody scream the noise. They all want to know what's my name. I tell them what it is and what's my game. I make sure you fry each and every time." This was that cat that supplied the green, and this was that cat that was always mean, but he was humble and cool with everybody always on the scene. This was that man that supplied them with that good stuff, and this was that man that had Alice stuck each and every time. Hold on, I need to say my rhyme.
Buzz, come on, we gotta go.
Where we going right now? Let me know what it is.
Money.
I'm cool. Oh, I'm out of time. But George Bush and Alice, what they did in this rhyme, they chilled with that big white teeth and them big green eyes. And when they got fully fried, they realized what it is. It was the cat that supplied them with a whole lot of biz and kept them laying and chilling until they be wanting to know what it is. They smoking that loud. That Girl Scout cookies that be having them in town.
and then
they went to the Tea Party and they met the Mad Hatter.
Then they got on a rocket ship to space with Al Gore and being piloted and captained by Bernie Sanders wearing a Borat swimsuit.
And then they fall into the Indian Ocean, they crash, and they meet a school of fish of Hillary Clinton supporters.
and then
They were eaten by a shark that messes with Obama. I don't want to say the F word. They ran into a shark that fucks with Obama. And that Obama has a baby mama that wants you to meet his llama. That is also 300.
From there, they went with Barack Obama and the llama and met a fish and started some drama and recorded in the studio.
And then from the studio, they brought it to Def Jam Records, got a record deal, and made a diss track about Hillary and the School of Fish.
And then they all went to a Young Thug concert.
And then
Obama, for the greater good, killed the shark. And then him and Young Lean, Young Lean's here now, rode off into the sunset on hoverboards.
And then
they engage in really interesting conversation about socialism and the means between it. They compare the sunset to those of Hitler and the people behind them, and then they exclaimed,
and then they, out of the blue, there was this giant dog, and it came out of nowhere, and they were so afraid, so then they flew to Mars.
And then
that's where they met the rap guy Kendrick Lamar.
And they found two badass bitches.
On the way, while they found these two badass females, they were introduced to the Anunnaki, the elder gods. Ooh.
There, Vegeta was chilling. He was trying to sell all 7 of his Dragon Balls. And then Goku came down with the spirit bomb and blew everything the fuck up.
Alright, so I hope you guys liked that video. A little different, you know, a little something different. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you want to see another one. Put it in the comments. And yeah, that's about it. See you later.